Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Max and today I'm going to be doing a review and a wear test of the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealers. These came out I think a couple of weeks ago and I've just got my hands on them yesterday and I've never worn them before, so this is a first impressions video as well. You've probably seen or heard of these on social media. They are proving to be very popular and a lot of people are comparing them to the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I actually haven't used the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, so I won't be able to do a comparison between these and that, but I still do want to do a review and a first impressions of these. I think that Makeup Revolution is a UK brand. The brand is based in, Makeup Revolution London, so it is a UK based brand. I'm not sure how easy these are to get hold of in America, but over here in the UK, these cost £4 each. And I bought them from my local Superdrug. They do sell them in other stores, but that is just the one that I got these from. They have 0.11 fluid ounces in each bottle, and that equates to 3.4 millilitres. Now, if I compare that to something else that I've got, where is one of my other favourite concealers? This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm sure a lot of you have seen me use this before. I use it in quite a lot of my videos. Just for comparison, this has 6.8 millilitres in it. So compared to the Makeup Revolution one, 3.4 millilitres and 6.8 millilitres. So even though this one is cheaper, with these two you are getting almost twice as much with the Maybelline version. However, the Maybelline was, I think this costs about £6 or £7, so it's not far off, to be fair. They are both quite reasonable concealers, and this is probably one of my favourite, if not my favourite all-time concealer, the Maybelline one. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Makeup Revolution one holds out against it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before I go on and try the product out, I just want to read you the description that it says on the website. This concealer is for everyone, 18 shades ranging from fair to deep in cool, neutral and warm undertones. Lightweight yet full coverage concealer to cover blemishes, even skin tone and counteract dark circles. With a matte finish that won't setting or accentuate fine lines and pores. Long wearing intense pigment that can also be used to contour and add definition. Our large doe foot applicator allows for smooth application that won't drag on the delicate skin under your eyes. So it sounds pretty good from the description. It makes a lot of claims, so we're going to see if it holds up to any of them. A lot of the shades were sold out in my local Superdrug, so there weren't that many left. However, I think I did manage to get quite a good match. I've got C4, which I'm going to be using for my under eyes. As you can see, it's quite a light shade in the bottle. And then the other shade I got is C12, and I'm going to be using this shade for contouring today. First things first, I have gone ahead and applied my base. I've done my foundation and I've also done my brows. I am going for a really natural look today, so if you're wondering why I look a lot more toned down than normal, it's just because I'm not doing an extravagant look today. I'm just doing a natural makeup look. I'm going out with some friends later and just going to keep it on the down low, just nice and dewy, but still hopefully full coverage under the eyes. So first of all, I'm going to start with the under the eye concealer shade, C4, and let's have a look at the applicator. Yeah, it's quite a big applicator, and from the videos I have seen of other people reviewing this, I think this is quite a similar applicator to the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm just going to be placing a little bit under my eyes and let's see what it looks like. Actually, I think I'm going to start with just one eye first, because I have heard that it dries down quite quickly. It does feel really, really creamy, first impression. Let's see how it blends out. Just going to be taking a damp beauty blender, and this is from Real Techniques. Okay, so first impressions, I do think it's quite a good colour match. It is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, which means it brightens my under eyes quite a lot. It blended out really easily, which I'm happy with, and it's quite full coverage. It definitely, as you can see, got rid of some of the redness that I have on the other side. So yeah, first impressions, not bad. Gonna go ahead and do the other side. It's definitely a really creamy formula. I quite like the way it feels on my under eyes. I have quite dry, sensitive under eyes, but it doesn't seem to cling in any bad places, and it seems to blend out really nicely. I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised, to be honest, for £4, because I have tried a lot of more expensive concealers, and to be honest, this one's holding up pretty damn well. I think I am going to go ahead and set this quite quickly, because looking closely, I think it is starting to settle into some of my creases under my eyes. I think that is just because it's such a thick, full coverage concealer, so I'm going to go ahead and set that, and we'll see what it looks like after setting it with some setting powder. To set that today, I'm going to be taking my YSL Souffle D'eclat translucent setting powder, and I'm just going to be taking a small amount on my beauty blender, and let's see how it sets. Just looking at it closely now, it does seem to have set really nicely. It's got a nice finish now that I've set it with some powder. It doesn't seem to be clinging to my fine lines under my eyes as much. So yeah, pretty pleased so far. What do you guys think? How do you think it looks? I think it looks quite nice. And I'm just going to go ahead and set the rest of my face anyway. Okay, so I'm now going to be moving on to the contour shade. This once again is in shade C12. Let's see how this holds up. Just gonna buff that out. I think it is such a full coverage concealer. I think I probably used a little bit too much considering I'm trying to go for a natural look today. So I think I'm just going to go over that a little bit with some of the powder that I used before, just to tone it down a bit because it's looking a little tan. It definitely blended out really easily though. That was one thing to note. Okay, so while that is baking, I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit more of the contour shade just around my forehead, just so it all blends together nicely. And it's looking like I won't need as much as I thought I would, considering I hardly applied anything here. It did not seem like a lot to me compared to when I normally cream contour, but that really gave such a high colour payoff. As you can see, I'm looking quite tan there. So let's just buff the rest of this out and see how it looks. Okay, so I've just blended that all out. I don't think it was quite as easy to blend onto the forehead as it was to do as the contour and under the eyes. So I'm just going to go over it with a little bit of my classic Rimmel London bronzer. I'll make sure that I link all the products I use down below like normal. Okay, let's wipe away that bake. I'm now just going to go ahead and apply a little bit of blush. This is the Jordana blush, and it's in shade Rose Silk. For mascara today, I'm taking the Clinique High Impact Mascara, and this is in shade Black. And for lips today, I'm using this Smith & Cult liquid lipstick. It's more like a gloss actually, it's not a full coverage lipstick, which I quite like for when I'm doing just a really natural look. This is in shade Now Kith, or Now Keith, I'm not sure. Just gonna go ahead and apply some of that on top of my lips. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm taking just this MAC Soft and Gentle highlighter. This is just my everyday highlighter for when I want a natural glowy finish. So I'm just going to be taking a small amount of that on my cheekbones, or what there is of my cheekbones, which is not very much. Last but not least, to set my face, I'm using the Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs and rosewater. This stuff is really, really great for just taking off that powdery sheen. Okay guys, so what I'm going to go and do now is I'm going to go off for the day, I'm going to go see some friends, I'm going to go get some coffee, and I'll come back and do a couple of check-ins just to let you guys know how it's holding up, and then I'll do a final thoughts at the very end of the video. So make sure you stick around to see what my final thoughts are. See you in a bit. Hey guys, so I'm just doing my first check-in. It's been a few hours now and I think it's holding up really, really well. It hasn't creased into any of my fine lines and I'm still really liking the way that the contour looks. So I'm gonna carry on with my day, go get some coffee, and I'll check back in the next couple of hours. Hey guys, so I'm back for my second and final check-in. I can honestly say that I am super, super shocked by how well this concealer is held up. Just looking closely now, it has not settled into any of my fine lines under my eyes, which is so rare for a concealer. That I always get concealer settle into those lines and just look really, really just not great after a whole day of wearing it. But I've had this on for pretty much the whole day, about 6 or 7 hours, and literally I have not touched up my makeup once and it still looks full coverage. I think it still looks flawless under my eyes. I'm really, really impressed. I think C4 was a really, really good shade to choose and I'm happy with, yeah, the way that it's performed. The contour as well, that was in shade C12. I think it's a really nice colour for my skin tone. It doesn't look too orange, it's quite a cool toned brown. And that's also held up really well. I haven't touched that up at all. So overall, I am so happy with the way that these concealers have performed. For £4 each, you just can't complain really. They are so, so great. Like I said before, I haven't tried the Tarte Shape Tape, but I do think that I can see why there is so much hype around this product, and I really, really recommend that you go and try it if you haven't tried it yet. As you can probably tell by now, this is 100% Max's Look Hell Yes approved. I think that there isn't really any bad points about this. It's affordable, the formula's really nice, it blends out easily. By the way, this video is not at all sponsored, these views are all my own, but I am really, really pleasantly surprised by the way that this concealer has performed. So that's it for this review then guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did enjoy this video, then please give it a massive thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that notifications bell so you know every time I post a video and you don't miss a thing. And also make sure you follow me on all of my other social medias, which I'll put down here. Take care everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.